we have in the belly of the chambers with us today a very important personality, Dr. Paschal Chigozie Obi.
My name remains Honorable Dr. Paschal Chigozie Obi. To the glory of God, I represent the good, the amiable, the industrious, and the very hospitable people of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Imo State. I rise to move this motion on the extension of remedial works on Owerri, Olo, Idato, Oga Federal Road. Mr. Speaker, this road, it is common knowledge that is a road that is very, very important, especially in the southeast, as it links 4 states out of the 5 states of the southeastern part of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my noble colleagues. My name is Honorable Dr. Paschal Chigozie Obi. I represent the very industrious people, the hospitable people of Idato North and South Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I humbly rise to move the motion on the looming recurrence of the Ebola crisis in Nigeria. I'm Honorable Dr. Paschal Chigozie Obi. I represent the very good and amiable people of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I rise to seek the leave of this House to present about 5 number of bills that were referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. With the approval of Mr. Speaker, I move as follows. The first bill is that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center Iboho in Oyo State and for related matters. The second one is that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal Medical Center, Wase, in Plateau State, and for related matters. The third one is that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Nigerian Health Infrastructure Development Bank to enhance and promote the health and well-being of Nigerians of all walks of life, to boost local health care capacity, and for related matters. And that the House also do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Medicine and Health Sciences, BIDA, in Niger State, and for the purpose of providing qualitative education in medicine and health sciences, and for related matters. And the fifth one is that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Orthopedic Hospitals Management Act, CAP 010, Laws of Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for the establishment of orthopedic hospital in Jos, Plateau State, and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the heartland, Eastern Heartland. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to seek the leave of this honorable House to enable me make presentation of about 6 number of bills, the recommendations made by my committee after consideration of the bills that were referred to us for legislative action. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, I proceed as follows. The first one is that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center, hung in Adamawa State, and for other related matters. The second one, that the House do receive the report of the Committee of Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, MUBI, in Adamawa State, and for other related matters. That the House also do receive the report of the Committee of Health Institutions on a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish the Federal Medical Center, Mbaku, in Anambra State. Also, that the House do receive the report of the Committee of Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the National Agency for Sickle Cell Diseases and other heritable blood disorder prevention and treatment, for the treatment, prevention, control, management, and research on sickle cell diseases and other heritable blood disorders in Nigeria, and for other related matters. Then for the House to also receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center, Biliri, in Gombe State, and for other related matters. Also, for the House to receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish the Federal Medical Center, Iboho, in Oyo State, and for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Amala Olaworo Federal Constituency, I rise to support, to second the motion as moved by the Chairman House Committee on Health Institutions.
Idato Nation is now a place where there is no month that passes without having 1 or 2 or 3 unemployed graduates of Idato Nation celebrating employment given to them in the health institutions we have in this country and others. That is so because Idato people were very careful. They exercised a very high level of care when they were making the choice of somebody to represent them at the Green Chamber in 2019. It was not business as usual. That was a federal constituency that had in the past been sending people who lack the requisite qualities of providing quality representation to their people. Are you getting me? And the people they were sending, most of them didn't know when the things were being shared. And that was one of the reasons that propelled me into developing interest in contesting to represent them. And I had the opportunity of visiting all the composite communities of Idato Federal Constituency, during which I was able to open their eyes. I was able to speak in the language they understood. I was able to make them understand the difference between somebody who had been in the system, a technocrat, and somebody who just came back from Ariaria Market, or Bete Market, or Nishamen Market. There is a Latin maxim that says, "Nemo dat quod non habit." Nobody gives what he doesn't have. So when you pick somebody that is selling up broker at Ariaria to represent you at the National Assembly, what do you expect from the person? I told them the essence of sending people like us, who are very versatile. Before I came to contest for this position, I had been a director of public health and primary health care in the Ministry of Health of Imo State, after which I became a permanent secretary and principal secretary to the governor of Imo State, permanent secretary government house. Before I came to this place, I have been able to establish very robust relationship with most of the MDAs. So many of them. FIRS, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration, NAFDAC, name them. National Primary Healthcare Development. Of course, I was a director of public health. I had already started relating with these agencies. I started my civil service career from the General Hospital. And because of that, I developed very good rapport with heads of even the tertiary health institutions owned by federal government. And that's what made it possible for me to be speaking in a language that they understand. Because I already have the password through which I could get to them. And that's why it has been very easy for me to push in unemployed graduates of Idaho Nation into most of these institutions by way of permanent employment, scheduled employment, that is what we call it. If Idaho people had sent traders, it wouldn't have been the same story. You are talking about employment, not employment alone. I have done so much for the people of Idaho Nation. I have renovated about 15 health centers. Renovation and equipping of health centers. Go to the health centers you have in Idaho Nation. They're all wearing very new look. They don't look like the health centers you see in other federal constituencies. I've been able to do it because I already had a plan of action before I came to. I didn't come to Federal House planlessly. No. I came with a target. And that target I must achieve, because I have the means to achieve that. Immediately I was sworn in, the Speaker looked at my credentials and appointed me Chairman, House Committee on Health Institutions. But my opponent, or my predecessor, who was contesting with me, was telling people during the electioneering campaign, asking them to vote for him to come for the second term. That time, because it was only if he became a ranking member that he could be made a committee chairman. But I came here, I'm not a committee, I'm not a ranking member, but I'm chairman of one of the most viable standing committees of the House of Representatives. And I have been piloting the affairs of this committee very, very excellently, to the glory of God and to the admiration of my members. So many of them can attest to that. So that is the thing. I want to tell the people of Idaho Federal Constituency that I would never give them reason to regret sending me to the National Assembly. I am here to represent them. I'm here to give them robust representation. I'm here to give them qualitative representation. I'm here to change the narrative, which I've continued to change. I'll continue to do that. I've started doing it and I continue to do it.